Learn English through story. The mystery of Jack the Ripper. Have you ever wondered who Jack the Ripper really was? A mad doctor? A member of the royal family? A killer with a sharp knife and a hidden agenda? Stay with me because today I'll tell you the shocking story of how this murderer terrified London and why people still whisper about him over 100 years later. In the autumn of 1888, the area called Whitechapel in London became the scene of some of the darkest events in British history. The streets were narrow, misty, and lit only by gas lamps. This was the heart of Victorian London, a place where the wealthy ignored the poor, and life was a daily struggle. Then came the murders. 5 women were killed. Their killer became known as Jack the Ripper. But who was he? Was he a doctor, an aristocrat, or just a madman with a knife? To this day, no one knows for sure. Before we get into the facts and the theories, if you are enjoying this story and want more stories that help you learn English, click like and subscribe now. Stay tuned for our next video where we'll explore another dark chapter of history, the Manson Murders. The facts. Between August and November 1888, 5 women were brutally murdered. They were called the Canonical Five, the 5 confirmed victims of Jack the Ripper. All of them lived in Whitechapel, a poor area of the city. Each murder was more brutal than the last. The women were found in the early morning hours, their bodies left in the dark alleyways. The murderer used a sharp knife, and the attacks were very precise. This was one of the reasons why some people believed the murderer was a doctor or surgeon, someone who knew human anatomy very well. The police received hundreds of letters from people claiming to be the murderer, but one stood out. It was signed Jack the Ripper, and it promised more murders. The press quickly gave the murderer this name, and it stuck. The theories. Over the years, many theories have been suggested about who the Jack the Ripper really was. The doctor theory. Some people believed the murderer was a doctor or a surgeon because of the precision of the attacks. The royal conspiracy. Another theory said that the murderer was a member of the British royal family, possibly Prince Albert Victor. This theory claimed the murders were covered up by powerful people. The police officer theory. Could the murderer have been a police officer? Someone with access to the scene of the crimes and trusted by the public? The madman theory. Others believed that the murderer was a regular person, a madman, driven by anger and desperation. Please take a moment to hit like if you are enjoying the story of Jack the Ripper. Each theory added to the fear, and every night the people of Whitechapel wondered, will he strike again? The police investigation. The police worked day and night, chasing every lead. They interviewed witnesses, examined the crime scenes, and collected evidence. But this was a time before DNA testing and modern forensics. The murderer left very few clues, and he was always one step ahead. People started saying that the murderer was like a ghost, appearing out of nowhere and disappearing just as quickly. The press gave him a name, and soon Jack the Ripper was on the front page of every newspaper. In the end, the murderer stopped. No one knows why. Did he die? Did he move to another city? Or did he simply disappear, melting back into the mist? The murderer was never caught, and this only added to the mystery. Why the story still fascinates us. More than a century later, the story of Jack the Ripper still captures the world's imagination. The murderer became a symbol of fear and terror. Movies have been made about him. Books have been written. Every year, tourists walk the streets of Whitechapel, trying to imagine the scene as it was in 1888. And why does the story still fascinate us? Because it's a story about more than murder. It's about a time when the world was changing. The rich ignored the poor. The press discovered the power of fear. And one murderer became a legend. Let's dive into some vocabulary. All bets were off. The situation became unpredictable. When the murderer struck again, all bets were off. On a knife edge, a very tense or dangerous situation. The city was on a knife edge during the attacks. One step ahead, always slightly faster or better. The murderer was always one step ahead of the police. Make your blood run cold to terrify someone. The details of the crimes made my blood run cold. Chase a ghost to search for someone you can't find. The police felt like they were chasing a ghost. If you would like more stories like this, stories that can help you learn English, please click subscribe. Thank you for joining us today. Coming up soon, the Manson Murders. Thank you for watching and stay safe out there.